Welcome to another gut tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to quickly cover the in-editor gut panel, which was introduced in 7.2.0, and I've added some new features in 7.3.0. In this tutorial, I'll be using the Godot 2D platformer project and some tests written for an input mocking tutorial. Links to those projects and tutorials will be in the description. When you install Gut now adds the Gut button to this bottom middle area down here. It's probably got a name. I don't know what the name is, but you can see it. It's right here. It says Gut. This is the Gut button. Those referring to the Gut button as the belly button shall be shunned. So let's have a look-see. We're going to go ahead and click the Gut button, and here we go. Couple things to note. You got a Run All button here. This will run all of your test scripts in your test suite. You've got an output area, a little light that shows up here, some shortcuts, and a bunch of settings. So let's go ahead and click the Run All button, and looks like we're missing some configuration. So all you really have to do to set this up is set your test directories. So for this project, I've put my test in test unit and test integration. Now when we click the Run All button, all of our tests run. Now, I hear what you're saying. Run all's great. I like to run all my tests on occasion, but most of the time I want to run less than all. I want to run maybe a script or an inner class or possibly a single test. And Gut's got your back there. Let's go ahead and open up test player movement. And now that we've opened up a test script, you can see we've got a test player movement button here. This will run this entire test script. And then if we click in here into this inner test class, we get a test double jump button. This will now run this inner class inside this script. And then if we come down here and click test jump jumps, we get a test jump jumps button. So we can run any portion of our test suite by simply moving the cursor around and then clicking some buttons. So let's go ahead and run test jump jumps. And it failed. Huh. So we got a little red light showing that it failed. And it failed. I wonder why that happened. Well, let's go ahead and open up the player. Scroll down a little bit. I'm looking for jump-related stuff. Oh, what do we got here? Someone commented out the code. Wonder if someone did that for demo purposes. We'll never know. Let's go ahead and uncomment that and save. And now, look, we went into a different script, but it wasn't a test script. So Gut was like, hey, I'll just keep all your buttons here, and you can use them whenever you want. So now we still got our buttons. We fixed our, we think we fixed our code. Let's rerun the test, and it passed. Perfect. Wonderful. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these features. Most of the features are pretty self-explanatory. You want to set the size of the output panel and the font to one of the presets we got. You can do that. You can set the font for the output window that you see when tests are running. You can set your background colors, all kinds of fun stuff. You can set an output file that will output XML with all your test results in it. And you can set your pre-run and post-run hooks, everything you need. In 7.3.0, I've added the on-top setting and compact mode. And to see how these are helpful, let's go ahead and run these tests now. And as you can see, as these tests run, Gut's just kind of hanging out in the background. It's being affected by the camera. It's not exactly what you want. And that's what the output looks like. That's horrible. Fix that. Okay. So the on top setting will put gut into a canvas layer, and all children that are added through the test then get added below it. And the canvas layer has the highest layer setting, which I think is 128, so it should always be on top unless you're adding things at that level. Then maybe they would fight. I don't know. But if we hit on top now and then run our tests, we can see that there's gut. But now we can't see what's happening at all. So we can set the opacity. So this helps a little bit. And there you can see, we can see through gut now. And that's great. Let's go ahead and quit that. But 730 adds compact mode. And this will shrink gut down, put it down in the corner, and then you can pretty much see everything and still see that gut's doing its business and the progress you're making as you're running your tests. The last thing to cover is the shortcuts button. So shortcuts will bring up a place to set all your shortcuts. And I've just arbitrarily set all these. So we want to put this, we can make this Control-0 and hit save. This is the shortcut for the gut button. These are shortcuts for all the various run buttons. It's important to note that the run buttons will not work when the gut panel is not visible. So we can hit Control-4 here, run that one test. But if I click output and then hit Control-4, nothing. But that's why the gut button has a shortcut, so you can Control-0 and then Control-4 and run your test. The very last thing to note would be that in order for the panel to work, gut will save a couple files to the root of your project's directory. So if we come out here and take a look, you can see that there is a gut editor config.json and a gut editor shortcuts.config. This holds your shortcuts. This holds all of the gut config JSON file settings that are used by the editor to kick off gut. It's basically the same thing as a gut config file you might use for running tests at the command line or through VS Code. But those files will be there. You might want to add them to your getignore or whatever. Just thought you should know instead of being surprised. So that's it, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. Happy testing.